UK's United Kingdom. Here is our headlines for Monday the 11th of December 2023. Tory MPs are under pressure to back Rishi Sunak's Rwanda plan.
The Philippines has accused China of shooting water cannon at its boats.
And Ukraine's First Lady warns that the country is in mortal danger without aid. Tory MPs are coming under pressure from ministers to back Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Rwanda plan. He hopes sending migrants to the African nation for processing a potential resettlement will deter people from crossing the channel in small boats.
He has introduced emergency legislation aimed at overcoming legal issues which have so far delayed the scheme. However, MPs from across his party have concerns about the approach, and the bill has been examined over the weekend.
It follows the Supreme Court blocking the government's original plan last month, declaring that Rwanda was not a safe country and that the asylum system was flawed.
The government has now introduced the Safety of Rwanda bill, which requires judges to treat Rwanda as safe. It also gives ministers powers to disregard parts of the Human Rights Act and prevents judges from taking into account other international laws.
Government ministers have been putting in calls to persuade MPs to vote for the bill tomorrow when it gets its second reading in the House of Commons. This stage of the process is usually reserved for debating the general points of the proposed law. Ukraine's First Lady Olena Zelenska has warned that Ukrainians are in mortal danger of being left to die if Western countries don't continue their financial support.
She spoke to Sunday with Laura Kuenssberg a day after Republican senators in the United States blocked a key aid bill which would have provided Ukraine more than $60 billion or £47.8 billion worth of support.
Speaking hours after a Russian missile attack, she said, "If the world gets tired, they will simply let us die." The White House has warned that US funds for Ukraine could soon run out, but Republicans have held up a deal to authorize more assistance.
US President Joe Biden said the failure to agree Ukraine aid would be a gift for Russian President Vladimir Putin, warning history would judge harshly those who turned their back on freedom's cause.
Supermarkets will be prohibited from selling goods containing palm oil, cocoa, beef, leather and soy that come from land linked to illegal deforestation under government plans.
Environment Secretary Steve Barclay set out laws on Saturday designed to lessen the contribution of consumers to the damage on precious habitats and endangered species.
The legislation under the Environment Act will ban businesses that have a global turnover of more than £50 million banned from using commodities sourced from land used illegally. The firms will be compelled to undertake a due diligence exercise on supply chains and report back annually.
Friends of the Earth said the laws should go further to include all high-risk commodities, including coffee, rubber and maize.
The Philippines has accused China of using water cannons to obstruct 3 of its vessels in the latest territorial dispute between the two countries in the South China Sea.
Video footage shows Chinese ships firing powerful blasts of water towards the Filipino government vessels. The Philippines called China's actions illegal and aggressive.
Beijing said it had used what it called control measures on ships that had intruded into its waters. Earlier this week, the Philippines accused China of swarming a reef off its coast after more than 135 military boats were spotted in the South China Sea. TABN UK traffic in Grantham, and everything is good.
Weather in Grantham, a few showers with the odd 30-mile-an-hour gusts there and there. High is 10 degrees Celsius and low of 6. That's all for today. Please note that our official last episode is on the 24th of December.
But we still have at least a few more episodes to go, including our last weekly episode, which airs on the 18th of December, so that's next week.
Our last news bulletin for the year will be airing on Friday the 22nd of December, and then, of course, as mentioned before, we have our official last episode, which airs on the 24th.
In the meanwhile, please subscribe, have a nice day, follow us on our Facebook page listed down below, and see you next week as usual.